What's up? So, yes, weekly update time. Yeah, I'm not in work clothes. It's this weekend. I went golfing today. I suck at golf, but at least I beat my friends today. So, before I get into this, obviously you can see this is where Lee Latimer and Dawson Latimer's truck was at, and it is done. It is gone. They are packing up this weekend and heading to Baja. I think everything worked out really good. They're super happy with their driveline mount and their little spare rack, extra rack, I guess, to haul their bed rolls and spare tools and whatever else they need. So they're loading up and getting ready to leave out this week. That Can-Am four-seater that you guys saw, it is done, it is gone. Owner's super happy with that one, so really grateful for that. The sandrail, we have not got to start on it yet. We're still currently arguing with insurance on it right now. As I'm sure everybody that has dealt with insurance knows, not the funnest to deal with all the time. So we're trying to get headway on that one so we can actually get started on it. Gary's Ranger, we have not touched this week because, well, we didn't touch it, but I got all the side panels cut and they're ready to be broke and get fitted so we can start welding tabs on that. So this week we'll make good headway on that one, if not getting very close to finishing it this week. But let's talk about this thing. So this guy, really cool guy actually, and I feel very, very bad for him. And I don't know why, but I like playing with this button right here. I don't know what it does, but it's just kind of fun to play with. I don't know. It looks like a door indicator light thing. Anyways, so this poor guy, he hit us up and wanting us to finish this truck. Oh, I'm not going to get into detail on it. I'm not going to blast anybody yet. But let's just say this truck went through several shops, and basically the guy got screwed really hard out of a lot of money from between several shops. And I told him, don't worry, we'll take care of it. We'll finish it. He brought it here, and I got to look at it, and oh man, please. If you guys are a fab shop, try and do better than what was done on this truck, because this poor guy got it really hard. And I really don't even know where to start with this on this truck. There's honestly not a lot of right that is done with this. I can hear the guys talking in the background. Sounds like they're talking to the cat. But yeah, there is not a lot that's done right, correctly, nicely, just decent at all. It looks like about 3 or 4 different shops have touched it. Just looking at it, I honestly don't even know if the steering stuff works on it. It's a center mount truck, and for some reason the shop that had it at one point in time strapped it at 21 inches of travel, or 20 inches of travel, which for a center mount truck is pretty bad, because you can get more out of an I-beam truck than that. There's just stuff that was, I would say, even subpar of a garage build. I've seen better stuff come out of a garage, and I feel bad. I'm not trying to talk shit on the truck. I feel really bad for the guy, because all he wants to have is a fun truck to go out and blast the desert. And unfortunately, which I've been through the same set of paces that he has with drag car days, you know, you go through certain shops and you just get really, really burnt, and people just do really bad work, and the customer seems to be the short end of the stick on certain things. First off, this looks like it was almost like a prefab engine cage, I would guess. I don't know, honestly. There's no dash tubes that come across. They got tubes that come down the side and tie into the door bar. It's just absolutely atrocious. I have no idea if the geometry in the front end works. We just got it. I haven't got to cycle anything. just taking first glance at it, it's probably not gonna cycle correctly. It looks like to me the bulkhead in the front is probably welded on somewhat crooked. I'm not 100% positive. It could just be, you know, the skid plates and stuff kind of throwing that off. So until I can get this thing jacked up and start moving things, I'm not 100% sure. There's tubes that have been put in at one time and then cut out because of clearance issues. So those are going to be extremely hard to replace. Engine cage has some interesting things that are going on. The back half, ignore my butt fan here. Oh God, move that out of the way. I don't know what you would want to call these. This guy has kind of been put on blast a lot lately in the social media world. Drew Fab. I guess I'll do that one plug. So I don't know what is that? Like, that's not going to work. Can't have that there. So, and then it looks like it was attacked in with a flux core, which is super rad. So we got to cut that out. We'll redo the shock. It does have, like, whoever had this section here from the back looked like they knew what they're doing. Welds look good. I don't know if this is like a prefab back half, but this section here back, I actually like. Does not look bad by any means. The welds look pretty good on it. It has a Curry rear end with looks like some decent stuff inside the third member. That's a solid plus. Oh God. Please, never, 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 never. Why would anybody do this? Weld the bedside mounts directly to the cab. You could have easily came off some tubes here and came out with a bar like every other person and their brother in the world that does. I'm not really excited to have to cut those off. That's gonna really suck. So thanks for that, whoever did that. No idea actually who did that one, but that's just bad. So we'll have to cut that off. It does look like whoever tied in this back half cage into the cab actually didn't do a bad job. So there's a plus there. Obviously, we're gonna get rid of these. This is just one side, there's nothing over here. So somebody just welded in an outer laminate plate to try and see, I'm guessing if they're getting the geometry right. No idea if that was gonna be a permanent thing, but it's like some 3/16, which does not need to be. You could do an 1/8 inch with an 1/8 inch laminate and make it look a lot prettier. So we'll ditch this. We're gonna cycle the rear end, get these shocks to where they actually need to be, make those happy. We're gonna do bump stops. The fun part about owning a business like this is obviously us as a shop is gonna wanna go full kill, just cut everything off and redo it the right way. Well, that doesn't work in everybody's budget. So we have to accommodate to what the owner of the truck wants to do, can do, for us. So that being said is obviously we're gonna have to mitigate around a lot of stuff, which really sucks because things might not be right, but ultimately the owner wants something that he can at least just make it out to the desert, make it safe, and make it work. So there might be a little bit of putting lipstick on a pig kind of thing. So we're gonna try and do what we can do, obviously as beautiful as we can do within his budget, and get everything at least working right, because unfortunately for this guy, like I've seen other people, he got burnt so many times and by so many people, he doesn't see a light at the end of the tunnel, which sucks because, you know, you get to that point where like, I don't even want it anymore, which isn't a fun process. Like he put a lot of money and had a lot of things happen. I want to see him go out and at least have some fun, because being something like this is the most fun thing that you can have in the desert. So we're gonna try and get this thing to being usable, and at least to where he can go out, have fun, enjoy it for a little bit, maybe get it to where he could come back and then we can, you know, put the lipstick on the princess kind of thing. Get rid of some of the ugly, depending on what works for him. So with that being said, I don't really have much more. I haven't got to go through every ounce of this truck. I got his parts scattered all over this place. There's stuff over there, stuff over there, stuff everywhere. So I'm not 100% positive what we have, what we're doing exactly yet. I figure we're gonna go with the first process of order, cycle the front end, see if the steering works that is done on it, see if the shock geometry that they do have on the front is gonna work. I personally don't think it is because 20 inches of travel on a center mount truck is not very good. So I'd imagine we're gonna have to redo the rear, or I mean, the front, and then we'll pull the front up, or pull, Jesus, talk. So we'll do the back, we'll jack it up, we'll cycle the suspension in the rear, see what geometry we can get out of it. Luckily, this stuff is just tacked on, so we can ditch this and move the shocks where they need to be happy, and see what suspension we can get out of it. He does have good shocks. You know, he's got King 4030, so he's got a good shock package on it, which is great. So we're just gonna go through there, figure out what we can do. I don't think we're gonna need to touch a lot of the cage structure in the back. It's just gonna be shock brackets, bump stop cans, limit straps, etc. Stuff to make it work. Fuel cell mount, spare tires. I don't care. I am 100,000% cutting these body fender mounts off and doing it the right way. So we'll get that off. And I say so a lot. Sorry about that. I never notice until I watch things later. Then I'm like, you're an idiot. Stop saying that. I just like to say things a lot, repetitively. It's not my fault. So I just did it again. Get all of this done, and we're going to go through it this week. Figure out what's working, what's not working, what's bad, what we can replace. We'll talk with the owner and try and get a game plan on this one so we can figure out where we're gonna start. Otherwise, yeah, sometimes it's not all these rainbows and butterflies. Sometimes it's just pig on a lipstick. Lipstick on a pig. It's one of those days where I'm just regurgitating things backwards. Dyslexic, bad. We'll see you guys next week. Check in again.